This guy, 2 hours after his latest court appearance, is seen on video. He's smoking near a McDonald's, and this is only 2 blocks from Taylor's New York City home. Earlier today, in preparation for this story, talking about Taylor Swift and her stalker, I called my criminal attorney and asked him for the tea. And I just go, look, Taylor Swift and this guy, David Crowe, he's back after having a court hearing, after getting a restraining order, after he was like hanging around her house, I think 30 different times. So people are
Mhm.
really nervous about this guy for Taylor Swift's actual safety. I'm calling the expert and I go, why isn't he locked up in jail? Because my understanding and the way that it works, it's a little bit different depending on what state you're in, but typically it's a misdemeanor. All right. So if someone gets a protective order and it says you cannot come close to this kind of person, and then you do and you violate the order, right? It's already a misdemeanor, and there can be jail time associated with that. There can be fines. There can be all kinds of things. So this guy, 2 hours after his latest court appearance, is seen on video. He's smoking near a McDonald's, and this is only 2 blocks from Taylor's New York City home. Is there the reason for concern here?
Terrifying concern. I mean, especially if they can't keep him, kind of under control and he has absolutely no fear. Like he leaves court. It's his third time that he's, been arrested in what, like a week, for the same things. And, what I was reading was the conversations that he was having with the officers that were approaching him were just like, what are you talking about? I love her. He seems aware of what was going on. He just was like, I can't help myself. What am I going to do? So that's super concerning. But I mean, we've covered a couple instances of Taylor's different stalkers that she's had over the years. And it's a terrifying thing. It's a terrifying thing you know, for people to go through, for sure.
Yeah, so during the arrest, Crowe faced criminal contempt for violating the protection order. Okay. So I guess he's claiming to be from Seattle. He said he was
Right.
flying home, but the police investigated. They're like,
No
this doesn't seem to
tickets.
be true. No ticket. I mean, doesn't this guy work? Doesn't he have somewhere to be? Oh my gosh.
There's
So
a
this
lot of
isn't
people that got nothing to do.
I mean, this isn't obviously the first time that we're dealing with stalker cases. We had, with what was it, Nikki Six of Motley
Nikki
Crue.
Sixx from Motley Crue, like, he just settled some things because he has multiple stalkers, like, that have just been kind of out in the public, and he just kind of wrapped one of them up because, they harass his family, they harass his mom, kind of similar with, who else was it? Ashanti was also having to deal with stalkers very publicly,
I know
like the
Jennifer
same one
Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez, and then obviously the famous Bjork if you're bougie, has one of the most famous cases where she got sent like a letter bomb, and like police intercepted it right before because the guy ended up unaliving himself, and then they found his videotape of what his confessions and stuff and found that he mailed it, and they stopped it right in time. But it's just absolutely terrifying.
A Music Attorney is your #1 legal resource for artists, producers, and record labels. Get contract templates, one-on-one legal advice, free master classes, and everything you need for your music business. Go to topmusicattorney.com. As this continues to escalate for Taylor Swift and he violates, these protective orders, yes, he can go to jail, but it will just continue to escalate for him to the point that, maybe the court would even order a anklet, an ankle bracelet so that he can be monitored constantly. If there wasn't just jail time or sanctions, I mean, it will continue to escalate because it has to. But obviously now we're going to have criminal prosecution, which comes next. So it just went from like a misdemeanor to something a lot more serious.
Yeah, I don't even know, like, for people like that just it's a compulsion of him, you know what I mean? So I don't know if even like, ankle monitoring, if police are busy
Right.
in the area, are they going to get there in time? Um, you know, we talk about Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez actually had a guy that was living in her pool house for like a
That's
week,
right. That's right.
before he was like, found or whatever. And like he had, like, I think he flew to California from like Rhode Island. So like these guys, they're willing to make the trip. They're willing to risk it all for some of this stuff. And it's just, it's scary. And the thing of it is, it's just, regular people as well get this happen. It's really scary for anybody to have this happen.
We'll continue to follow in all things Taylor Swift.